Okay, folks, thank you. I will now call the March 18th, 2021 regular meeting of the Common Council of the City of Plattsburgh to order at 5 p.m. At 5:02 p.m. Please rise and join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, folks. Ms. Carlin, would you please conduct a roll call?
Mayor Rosenquist,
Here.
Councilor Canales,
Here.
Councilor Kelly,
Here.
Councilor Gibbs,
Here.
Councilor Talon,
Here.
Councilor McFarland,
Here.
Councilor Moore,
Here.
All councilors have received a copy of the minutes of the March 4th, 2021 regular meeting. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I will now entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Motion by Councilor Canales, second by Councilor Gibbs. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I will now recognize those in the audience who wish to share their thoughts and concerns with the council on any topic. Please raise your hand on the Zoom chat to be acknowledged. And when called upon, we just ask that you please state your legal name and address for the record. And in accordance with the organizational rules of order, all speakers will be given 5 minutes to address the council. I do see that there are people here. Mr. O'Keefe, please can you Beth, can you please allow Mr. O'Keefe to enter the chat, please? Mr. O'Keefe, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself, and please, when you're ready. Mr. O'Keefe, you're still muted if you're trying to talk.
How about now?
There you are. Thank you, sir. How are you?
I apologize, sir.
No,
I'm about to call one of my grandkids.
I hear you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. Sorry to, I just asked as an accommodation, just please, if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer anything now or later, but I'm having a few cognitive and a few physical issues, and I do have to leave right after. So, but I do want to get this stuff on the record. I hope you get the book. I hope you enjoy it. I hope I didn't insult you by giving you that book. I mean, I've never really thought of it. My wife said to me, you know, the American man, he's a marginalized person. You know, I mean, I've never. I'm so inspired by it that. Did I lose you?
Nope, you're still
Mr.
there.
O'Keefe,
We
we're
can still
listening.
hear you.
All right. So the two issues I've noticed in the last 7 days walking around, and I feel kind of guilty, especially hearing my councilwoman, who I'm very proud to say that about, saying that we have problems. I figured she was an educator, that we still got problems, because it really bothered me as I walked around the neighborhood, seeing that we had to resort to taking the physical hoops off the basketball courts. And I just wondered if we had a plan. That I understand why we had to do that. I've got to tell you, sir, it saddens me. It saddens me that it's come to this, because my wife and I have been completely compliant, you know, and we're trying to do whatever. And I've got to tell you too, I've had my first shot at my second one Tuesday. Kudos to whoever organized that. That I'd get an Emmy award or an Oscar or something. But it's just beautiful out at the base. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. But do we have a plan in place on when we could get ready? Have we thought of all the options? Could we think about maybe, maybe shifting some money around in the police department and hiring a police officer to sit there and make sure we don't have more than 4 and 4 officers? or 4-4 games or something. It just seems so drastic to me. And if not, as soon as we can, as soon as it's scientifically safe to do it, I would encourage you to do that, because I bought a house in this neighborhood for a reason. And that is to, I love the kids. I love here in the neighborhood. It's a very lively neighborhood. You wouldn't believe that if you saw my black Labrador right now. But anyway, there's a few streetlights out on Cogan. Am I still there?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay. So,
yes.
I plan to do this a different way, and then I get tripped up by the technology. I'm really, I try, but I'm frustrated. As a matter of old business, I would like to apologize to any of you that I offended the last time we all got together and talked about sidewalks. I've come to learn, be 60 this year. I've come to learn that, don't think you know everything. Don't think you're the smartest person in the world, because as I've been walking around this neighborhood, I've come to realize that we do need sidewalks. I hate to say it. It's one of the reasons I bought a house here, so I wouldn't have to shovel a sidewalk. I find that, the city telling me to do that offensive. Like Lincoln, outlawed that kind of work, I thought. But anyway, again, I digress. I don't know if people think Cogan Avenue is French for you can go as fast as you want and dump all your garbage from all the fast food on Route 3. But that's what we're experiencing here a lot of. And by the way, I just speak for myself. I don't speak for anybody else on the street. If they agree with me, great. That's fine. If you could, I'd like to hear an update someday or sometime about when we're going to pave this street. We were supposed to be in sync to be 2019. And I'd also like to know, I got a little bit of this answered, the protocol of the meetings, because I think, I understand you have to have limits, and I understand you don't get shit for money for doing this, so to speak. And I'm a very passionate person, and I believe in open government, and I didn't like what I was seeing, and I hope it's changed. And the last issue I got is just this is confusing just to me. Again, am I still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. That's why I hate these meeting things. Your building is really ADA confusing. If you enter on Trinity Avenue, Trinity Park, the door is ADA compliant, and then you have to walk almost, unless I'm missing something, the entire footprint of the building. I think they call it the G floor. Now, arguably, you have and I noticed that the Cornelia Street side of the building, the door is not, while that's the elevator side, the door is non-compliant. And you may not think like it's a big deal, and I can still do it a little bit, but if you're in a wheelchair, you're screwed. Plain and simple, you're screwed. And if you tell me that's ADA compliant, I'm going to tell you I think that's a cruel joke, because I don't think it is, and I think we need to fix that, and I think we need to fix that pretty quick. And that's all I have. I thank you for the time, and I hope, like I said, I wish you all the luck this new administration. Quite honestly, I'll use the metaphor. You guys are almost like messiahs to me. It feels so good to be able to get my second shot and, not catch that disease and die like 500,000 Americans did. Didn't have to. And they raided our Capitol. And I used to walk up the Capitol with my dad. We used to count the steps, and I could walk all the way to the rotunda. And we used to go every year, and I never had a racial issue. Never, never, never. In fact, people were kind to us because my father would get lost from the front seat to the back seat. And just been a tough year. So I'll talk to Miss Gibbs maybe and get a follow-up on this. She's got my email, and she's very good at getting back to me, and I thank you for your time. I got to go get a toe checked. I get diabetes, and I got a toe that's turning, I'm afraid, gangrenous, and it's really scaring the shit out of me. So I apologize to talk and run, but thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you, Thomas.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thomas, thank you so much.
No problem. You have anything you want to ask? Did I make it clear?
Yeah, perfectly clear. No, perfectly clear. I appreciate it.
No, I
I
finally got a pacemaker, Mr. Mayor, and before that, I got what's called cardio shock. That's how they try to get your heart in rhythm. And what that literally does is they shut you down and then they zap you. You're unconscious, but I was lucky not to go unconscious a couple times and wake up in the middle of it, et cetera, et cetera. And I really believe it's caused some cognitive issues. And I asked one of the fellows over at UVM, you see like 300 doctors a day over there. That's why I love going over there. And she said, boy, that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked that before. And I said, oh, okay. So that's why I ran to the pacemaker. What the hell, if you keep shocking me ain't working, I'll try the other. So anyway, folks, thank you. Have a great night. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What book was he talking about? Did he give you a book, Chris?
I do want to address a couple of things that Mr. O'Keefe was pointing to, and give you all just a quick update. Nothing in too much depth, but I do appreciate Mr. O'Keefe joining us tonight and expressing some of the concerns that he does have. City Hall ADA compliance, I would agree. There's a number of out of date concerns that we have, and also looking forward in the future of some capital projects at City Hall to improve accessibility and just the general upkeep of the building. We don't, unfortunately, right now have a Kogan Avenue update. Last time we sent out, we had an engineering estimate. We're waiting for a contractor estimate, and then we'll have some updates on next steps based on pricing and schedule. And then regarding the parks, Mr. O'Keefe was talking about the Blue Mat Park up on Park Avenue West. I believe it is that sometime back during, really, quite frankly, the height of the pandemic, there was some folks up there playing basketball, and the response was to take the hoops down. I don't necessarily agree with that was the proper approach to that, but just as of this week, we did a citywide inventory of our parks to gauge the quality and any improvements or concerns that we had of some of those parks, and I'll have that report provided to the council and to the public here shortly after we get some more thinking around our some type of initial thoughts and plans on how we're going to manage some of those parks. So, all right. I see there's another participant, Rosa 2 Dragon. We're going to go with it.
Hello.
Hello.
I had a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
I moved into house 117 like a couple weeks ago.
What? I'm sorry. Where did you move into?
The neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
And there's been like a lot of like. Hold on. I'm sorry.
All right. Looks like we've lost that person. Okay. Are there any more? Is there anybody else that would like to provide comment? Okay, seeing none, we will now go on to committee reports. Each standing committee is chaired by a counselor, and I will call on the chairperson of each standing committee, starting with City Operations Councilor McFarland.
No updates at this time. We did have our meeting at the beginning of the month, and we will be having another one the second Monday of April.
Thank you, sir. Finance and Economic Development, Community Development, rather. I will provide the update. There are a number of resolutions on today's agenda for fund transfers to address a number of projects and expenses that had either been planned for or unbudgeted but planned for but unbudgeted. That's on tonight's agenda. And our next committee meeting is, let's look at the date here. Our next committee meeting is scheduled for April 8th, I believe. Yep, April 8th. In City Infrastructure, Councilor Moore.
Didn't have anything new to report other than we had a couple of water main breaks on North Catherine Street this week.
Thank you. And Public Safety Counselor Gibbs.
Yeah, so we had our we had our regular meeting on Monday. There are a number of things happening in the public safety realm. On the front page of the paper today was a nice article updating the public on our public safety review panel progress. And public comment is encouraged and ends at the close of the day, March 23rd, which is Tuesday. Our rental registry should be up and running in full swing in April. And I know that our building inspector is also working on some other initiatives as well. And we are still working on a management package. And that is everything so far.
Thank you, Councilor Gibbs. We will now move on to liaison reports. Plattsburgh Public Library, Councilor McFarland.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can tell you that the library is now open for browsing. Although contactless pickup and go is still continuing, but you can actually go to the library and browse. They do have federal and New York State tax forms if anyone needs access to those to help filing their taxes. The library will also be participating in the National Library Giving Day, which is April 7th. It's a day that encourages people to donate to their local library. I do encourage all of our residences and especially patrons of the library to donate to our library. Our library helps a lot of people. It's a great local resource, and I hope it continues to thrive. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. And Plattsburgh Municipal Lighting Department, Councilor Kelly.
I just wanted to thank Mr. Tracy for conducting a tour of the facility on Sharon Avenue yesterday. Several of us, including the mayor, participated in that tour, and we learned a lot and saw a lot about that wonderful facility. And we do have our first MLD meeting on the 29th of April. So if anyone would like to have any information delivered at that meeting or anything you'd like to have on the agenda, there's still plenty of time to do that.
Thank you, Councilor. At this point, I have no staff report, and let's see, where are you, Dean? Anything from you?
No, nothing, and no need for executive from my perspective.
Okay, thank you, sir. Special committee report. I would like to expand on Councilor Gibbs' update on the Public Safety Review Panel recommendations. As noted by Councilor Gibbs, the public comment is open, and we highly encourage anybody at this point to provide a public comment. The public comment is on the implementation plan for the 20 recommendations that the Public Safety Review Panel has provided the city. And if you are interested in making a public comment, please visit our website. I believe there's a link on our Facebook page, and I'll make sure of that, or the Twitter feed. I'll make sure that those links are up on those social channels. But I also want to say a thank you to local media that had picked up that story and who has also helped spreading the word. And so next steps on that is once we do close that public comment period, as Councilor Gibb indicated, it's going to be at the end of day on the 23rd, which is next Tuesday. Once that's closed, we will review all public comments, and we are getting public comments in now. We'll review all public comments and then make adjustments to the plan as appropriate, and then present the final product to the council for adoption. The plan will then be submitted on or before April 1st. And I'm feeling pretty confident after the first round of the committee that created the plan that we are on track to submit for the first. I will now entertain a motion to approve the payrolls for various city departments for the weeks ending March 17th, 2021 in the amount of $54,852.86. Motion by thank you. Motion by Councilor Moore, second by Councilor Kelly. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried. I will now entertain a motion to approve the bills audited by the Common Council for the weeks ending March 18th, 2021 in the amount of $1,406,522.95. Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland, Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried. Before voting on the following resolutions, I will note that the majority of the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees and department heads. We are now taking action on these items in large part due to the recommendations of the committees. Ms. Carlin, will you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted upon?
authorizing the mayor to sign an East Coast Watercross agreement.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor McFarland. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Opposed? Carries.
Authorizing the mayor or his designee to sign a dependent eligibility verification agreement.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor McFarland. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
yes,
authorizing the mayor to sign an addendum for grandfathered groups without preventative in Blue Shield of Northeastern New York.
Motion by now Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor McFarland. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
authorizing the Chamberlain to transfer for fire department personnel clothing equipment.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
authorizing the Chamberlain to transfer fund from municipal buildings capital outlay, City Hall HVAC.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland, Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
authorizing the Chamberlain to transfer funds for building inspector contract services.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland, Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
authorize the Chamberlain to transfer funds for water and sewer administration multimodal facilities.
Motion by Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
authorize the Chamberlain to transfer funds for finance print services contract, finance.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second. Counselor Kelly. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
Approval of change order number 2 for the Saranac River Trail Phase 2.
Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor McFarland?
No.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Approval of temporary closure of 29 parking spots for the Betty Little Arts Park construction staging.
Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor McFarland. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Approval of travel requests from a municipal lighting department.
Motion by Councilor Canales, second by Councilor Kelly. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor McFarland?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Approving parklets for the 2021 season.
Motion by Councilor McFarland, second by Councilor Gibbs. Discussion. I would like to say that I do appreciate all of the work that has gone into the thinking of this. And again, just to highlight a couple of changes, key changes, especially to the date and pricing. The date for installing the parklets in the city is going to start on April 1st and end October 17th. That was a discussion that stemmed from the Public Safety Committee based on a number of requests that this office had regarding extending the season for parklet. And then also the pricing change. The pricing change for the parking lot or the parking space itself is simply $300. We are not charging, per this resolution, we are not charging individual tables within each parking space, but the table charge for the sidewalk tables remains the same. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor McFarland?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Approval of 2021 animal shelter agreement with Eagles Nest Veterinary Hospital.
Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Canales. Discussion.
Yes, actually, I
Yes,
had
please.
a constituent reach out to me about some questions on this. I hadn't thought of asking them at the time. There is a $500 non-refundable fee for this. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that's simply the fee to allow for the service. And then we pay an additional $100 per dangerous dog that we then drop off. If memory serves me, and Captain Huber can also correct me, I don't believe that we have had to use this service for the last couple of years, meaning we haven't had a dangerous dog to collect and drop off to Eagles Nest Veterinarian Hospital. But it does allow us to have a place for dangerous dogs, which is something that we do require. And as discussed as part of this resolution during the committee, we do contract out with Elmore SPCA for other dogs and cats that are found, but they do not provide a dangerous dog service. So we have to find this service within the county.
So the question from the constituent was, she wanted to know, has it always been a $500 non-refundable fee, or is this new this year?
No, I believe that this has been a regular thing, but I will again, Captain Keroy, if I'm misstating something, please let us know.
Mayor, so I believe at the onset of this this contract with Eagles Nest a few years ago, there was not a non-refundable fee of $500.
Okay.
Over the course of the year since, that's been included into the contract. And again, it's because we don't use it a lot, but because we are required to maintain this service for the city, we have had to use it in the past.
Okay, thank you for correcting me.
So no, I understand why we have to have someone ready to do it, but I guess my constituent wanted to know, why is the $500 non-refundable fee new?
It isn't new per se, Councilor Gibbs. It's, again, the first year that we had this, it was brought to our attention by the Department of Ag and Markets that Elmore SPCA was no longer providing that service, and we had to find someone. So the first year, we negotiated with the owner of Eagles Nest, and they allowed us to enter into this contract. But subsequent contracts have been, to my knowledge, subsequent contracts have all had the $500 fee.
Non-refundable fee?
I believe so.
Okay, when did so the non-refundable fee is not just starting this year, it's been in years previous.
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and I just wanted to comment, I believe that they're the only ones that do the dangerous dogs that handle that in the area.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that is, just again, yeah, there are other municipalities in the county that use that use Eagles Nest for the same service.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call.
The only point to add is
sorry.
that if this contract's going into the animal control officer accounts, along with the Elmore SPCA contract that went into those accounts, there's nothing budgeted because of the austerity numbers that were put together last June. So we'll have to do budget adjustments in there once we determine what the cost expectation is for 2021.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Carried.
approval of the 2021 Police Academy Director Training Director Services.
Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Canales. Discussion.
Yeah,
Roll
Mr.
call. Yep, sorry. Please.
I just have a question. I know a lot of the recommendations that were put forth by the Public Safety Review Panel were for training. Are any of those, or for increased training, is that taken into account with this this contract?
In a sense, yes. It's mostly the content of the training itself. There have been recommendations in partnership with Captain Keroy to implement what's called the policeman training, which is mostly a web platform training module, which again, a number of those training modules had been designed and recommended by Captain Keroy to implement as part of that Public Safety Review Panel plan. There are a number of other more hands-on training aspects like use of force and de-escalation, which will likely be included into some of the training that this person would do in partnership with Captain Keroy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canales,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Carried.
approval of access agreement with NYSEG for use of 42 City Hall Place and 53 Green Street to facilitate remediation work within the Saranac River.
Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second. Councilor Canales. Discussion.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
One thing I did not see in the documentation on this was, how long is this going to last?
Going
to be tied up.
The Green Street, which is quite, if you didn't see the footprint, it's a very small footprint. which is on the north side of Green Street, but to the river on the east side of the Green Bridge, and right near the old boat launch, boat launch that quite frankly is not used. They are going to be there, projected to be there about a year and a half, 2 years before they clean up the rest of that space and then move down to the mouth of the river.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Well, they're gonna pay us for that, correct?
There's some, as part of the contract that got sent out, there is some remuneration for use of that space, yes.
Okay. Do we know how much?
It's not in the sense of it's not a dollars and cents amount. It's it's more of a helping us do some rebuilding of Green Street after the remediation work has been completed, as well as seeding and sodding areas of the farmers market to make it more of a green space.
Oh, that would be nice.
It is actually quite nice, and I think just big thanks to Matt and his team for helping work that out with NYSEG.
So you don't believe that there will be any interference from having their equipment there with anything else that's going on in that space, such as the farmers market?
Yeah, no, and that's the conversation and the concerns that we did express with NYSEG regarding the use of that space, and to make sure that it was separated and segregated from the farmers market, and not to, quite frankly, not to overstep and step on the use of the farmers market, which is why we're kind of tucking them away and not putting them in the parking lot or any parts of the parking lot. And the other reason why they're sitting there is because we also didn't want them driving through the water resource reclamation facility through the parking lot onto Dock Street and then across Bridge Street back to the remediation site on Saranac Avenue or on Saranac Street. So that's why we tucked them in that area. The driving between that remediation site and their site on Saranac is going to be shorter and take less damage to that area.
Okay. We have a developer who's expressed interest in putting a new property down there. Has this been discussed with them?
Yes, they are aware. I'm assuming that you're speaking about the hotel developer that expressed interest that responded to the RFP. Yeah, we have spoken with that developer, and fortunate for everybody involved, the project that they were involved with in Saranac Lake was very similar to this project, where the area that they're developing on was also jointed or abutted to another remediation site. So they're very familiar with the process. In fact, they have had a relationship with the same people that are doing this remediation work, and so they're very well aware of the work that's being done.
Okay, that answers all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Any other discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor McFarland?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried. At this time, I would like to introduce local law P1 of 2021. This local law will be renaming, amending, and restating Chapter 254, peddling and soliciting of the city code of the city of Plattsburgh. Once renamed, Chapter 254 will be entitled Food Trucks. I am introducing this local law tonight. The public hearing date is set by myself for Wednesday, March 31st, 2021 at 5 p.m.
And just for the record, because we're remote, Beth, are you going to be emailing that introduced local law to every counselor?
Yes, as soon as I receive it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. 7.41 has been withdrawn. Is there any new business to come before this council? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilor Canal, second by Councilor Moore. All in favor?
Aye.
We are now adjourned. Thank you so much, folks. And again, please comment on the public safety review plan and have a great